My child, yesterday, heaven went silent around you for a moment because I was calling your name, and you kept walking away from my voice. I watched you fill your mind with noise so you would not have to sit alone with me. I stood beside you while you ignored the feeling in your spirit that kept telling you to stop and come close to me again. You thought it was just another ordinary moment, but to me, it was heartbreaking because I was reaching for you with love while you slowly drifted further into silence. I need you to listen carefully now because this message is not random. I have brought you here because I refuse to let distance grow between us any longer. Do not turn away from me again. Stay here with me because what I am about to say will touch the deepest places inside your soul. Yesterday, I waited for you longer than you realize. I watched every moment when you felt the pull in your heart to pray, but instead you distracted yourself. I saw you pick up your phone again just to avoid sitting in silence with your thoughts, because deep inside you already knew I was trying to speak to you. I was there in the heaviness you suddenly felt for no reason. I was there in the exhaustion that settled over your spirit. I was there in the quiet moments when something inside you whispered that you needed me. But you kept moving, kept scrolling, kept pushing past the feeling because facing me also meant facing the pain you have been trying so hard to bury. My child, do you understand how much I love you? Even while you ignored me, I still stayed near. Even while your attention wandered everywhere else, my eyes never left you. But I will tell you honestly, it hurt me to watch you walk past my voice like it did not matter. I am not speaking this to shame you. I am speaking because I love you too deeply to remain silent while your soul grows tired and distant. You keep asking me for signs while overlooking the ways I already speak to you every day. Yesterday, I spoke through that sudden ache in your chest. I spoke through the restlessness in your spirit that would not let you feel comfortable no matter how much you tried to distract yourself. I spoke through the memories that suddenly came back into your mind when you least expected them. I was trying to draw you closer because I know what is happening inside your heart even when nobody else sees it. I know you are tired. I know you are emotionally worn down from carrying pain you never talk about. I know you have become so used to surviving that you no longer know how to rest in my presence. But my child, you cannot keep running from me every time I try to touch the deepest parts of your soul. You cannot keep numbing yourself every time I call you into silence. The world keeps filling your ears with noise because the enemy knows that if you become still long enough to hear my voice clearly again, everything inside your life will begin to change. I watched you yesterday while you smiled in front of people even though your spirit felt empty. I watched you pretending you were fine while carrying burdens that nobody knows about. I saw the hidden disappointment inside you. I saw the loneliness you never explain. I saw the exhaustion behind your eyes. And still, even after all of that, you kept pushing me away because part of you has become afraid to fully open your heart to me again. You are afraid I will stay silent. You are afraid your prayers will go unanswered again. You are afraid to hope too much because disappointment has wounded your spirit so many times before. But my beloved child, I need you to hear me now. I have never abandoned you. Not once. Even yesterday, while you ignored me, I stayed beside you with love in my eyes. I did not leave when you became distracted. I did not walk away when you forgot me. I remained there waiting patiently because my love for you does not disappear when your faith becomes weak. Do you realize how many times I protected you while you were too distracted to even thank me? There were moments yesterday when danger never reached you because my hand stood between you and destruction. There were thoughts that could have consumed your mind completely, but I covered you with peace before they destroyed you. There were emotional battles happening inside your spirit that you could not even see, yet I fought for you quietly while you continued through your day unaware of the spiritual warfare surrounding you. My child, heaven has not forgotten you. I have not forgotten you. But I need your attention again because your soul is becoming exhausted from trying to survive life without resting fully in me. Say amen. Healing is coming my way if you know restoration is near. I know the world has hurt you. I know people disappointed you. I know there were prayers you cried over that still remain unanswered. I know there were nights when you begged me for relief while tears soaked your pillow. I heard every single word. I counted every tear. But somewhere along the journey, disappointment slowly created distance between us. You stopped talking to me the way you once did. You stopped sitting quietly in my presence. You stopped expecting me to move powerfully in your life. Instead, you learned how to live emotionally disconnected because disappointment felt safer than hope. But my child, emotional numbness is not healing. Avoiding me is not peace. Distracting yourself is not freedom. Your soul is starving for my presence even while your mind keeps running toward temporary comfort. Yesterday, when I called you, it was not because I wanted to condemn you. I was trying to rescue you from the heaviness growing inside your spirit. I was trying to remind you that you do not have to carry all of this alone. I was trying to pull you back before the distance between us became even deeper. The enemy wants you isolated. The enemy wants you exhausted. The enemy wants you spiritually numb because numb hearts stop listening carefully to my voice. But I am calling you awake again. I am asking you to stop pretending everything is fine when your soul is desperate for intimacy with me again. Do not ignore this moment like you ignored yesterday's whisper. This message is your confirmation that I am still pursuing you. I am still standing at the door of your heart. I am still speaking even after all the moments you overlooked my voice. That is how deep my love for you truly is. Human love gives up quickly, but my love continues reaching even when you become distant. I am not standing before you with anger. I am standing before you with wounded love, longing for my child to come close again. I miss your attention. I miss your trust. I miss the moments when you spoke to me honestly without fear and without walls around your heart. My child, there are things ahead that will require spiritual strength, and that strength only comes from closeness with me. You cannot continue pouring all your attention into temporary things while neglecting your spirit. The distractions surrounding you are slowly draining your peace, your joy, your clarity, and your emotional strength. I see how overwhelmed your mind has become. I see how tired your heart feels. I see the pressure you carry every day. That is exactly why I keep calling you back into my presence. Not to control you, but to heal you. Not to shame you, but to restore you. Not to burden you, but to finally give rest to your weary soul. So now I ask you again, will you stop running from me? Will you stop drowning my voice beneath endless distractions? Will you stop pretending your soul is fine when deep inside you know something is missing? I am still here. I am still calling. I am still waiting. Yesterday hurt me because I love you more than you understand. But even after the silence, even after the distance, even after you ignored me, I have not changed my mind about you. You are still mine. You are still deeply loved. You are still chosen. And right now, at this very moment, I am asking you to come back close to me before your heart grows even colder. Do not make me wait outside your heart any longer, my beloved child. I am here. I never left. My child, I need you to stop for a moment and truly hear my voice now, because what I am about to tell you comes straight from the deepest place of my heart. Yesterday was not just another ordinary day to me. While you were moving through your routines, carrying your worries, distracting your thoughts, and trying to survive the heaviness inside you, I was standing close beside you, calling softly for your attention. I watched you wake up already exhausted. I saw the pressure resting on your mind before the day even began. I saw how quickly you reached for distractions because silence has become uncomfortable for you lately. Silence forces you to feel things you have tried to bury. Silence forces you to notice how tired your soul really is. And most of all, silence creates space where you might finally hear my voice clearly again. That is why the enemy keeps surrounding your life with endless noise. He fears what will happen when you finally become still enough to recognize that I have been speaking to you this entire time. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us, given link in description or pinned comment, to show your support. Yesterday I tried again and again to pull your attention back toward me. I whispered through your spirit when that strange heaviness suddenly settled over you for no reason. I touched your heart during those brief moments when you felt empty even while surrounded by people. I spoke through the exhaustion in your mind when nothing around you seemed satisfying anymore. But every time I reached for you, something else captured your focus instead. You kept pushing forward as if your soul did not need rest. You kept filling your mind with noise because deep down you were afraid of what might rise to the surface if you finally sat quietly with me again. My child, I understand your pain more than you realize. I know why your heart has become guarded. I know disappointment has changed you. I know there were seasons where you cried out to me and felt like heaven stayed silent. I know there were moments when life wounded you so deeply that shutting down emotionally felt easier than remaining vulnerable. But even then, I never stopped loving you. Not for 1 second. Do you know how difficult it was for me to watch you hurting yesterday while pretending you were fine? I saw the hidden sadness behind your smile. I saw the loneliness you never explained to anyone. I saw how emotionally drained you have become from carrying burdens you were never meant to carry alone. You keep trying to be strong for everyone around you while your own spirit quietly grows weaker inside. You answer people kindly while secretly fighting battles in your own mind. You laugh during conversations while carrying silent fears nobody notices. And through all of it, I remained close beside you, hoping you would finally stop long enough to let me comfort you. But instead, you kept choosing distraction over intimacy with me. You kept walking past the quiet moments where I was waiting for you. My beloved child, you do not fully understand how much your attention means to me. I am not distant from you. I am not cold toward you. I am not watching your life without emotion. I love you deeply. Every moment you draw near to me matters. Every sincere prayer matters. Every quiet moment where your heart opens honestly before me matters. That is why yesterday hurt me so deeply. It was not because I stopped loving you. It was because I long for closeness with you more than you understand. I created your soul for relationship with me. Nothing in this world will ever truly satisfy the emptiness inside you apart from my presence. Yet I watched you search for relief everywhere else yesterday while your spirit silently cried out for me underneath all the distractions. I saw the moments when conviction touched your heart briefly. I saw you pause for just a second when something inside whispered that you needed to pray. I saw the moments where you almost turned toward me emotionally, but then fear, exhaustion, disappointment, or distraction pulled you away again. My child, the enemy has convinced you that avoiding your spiritual hunger is easier than confronting it. But avoidance is slowly draining the life from your soul. You cannot heal by running from me. You cannot find peace by burying your emotions beneath endless noise. You cannot restore your heart while continuing to neglect the very relationship your spirit desperately needs. Yesterday, while you felt emotionally numb, I was grieving quietly because I know the beautiful closeness we once shared. I remember the seasons when you used to seek me sincerely. I remember when your prayers were honest and vulnerable. I remember when your faith felt alive and expectant. I remember when worship moved your heart deeply. But pain changed something inside you over time. Delays discouraged you. Disappointments wounded you. Betrayals exhausted you. And little by little, your heart began protecting itself from hope. You stopped expecting too much because disappointment felt unbearable. You learned how to survive emotionally instead of truly living spiritually. But my child, I did not create you merely to survive. I created you to walk closely with me in peace, trust, love, and deep spiritual intimacy. There were moments yesterday when you felt sudden sadness and did not understand why. That was your spirit recognizing distance from me. There were moments when everything around you still felt empty no matter how much you distracted yourself. That emptiness was not punishment. It was your soul longing for my presence again. Nothing else can fill the space inside you where my love belongs. The world offers temporary comfort, but only I can heal the deepest parts of your heart. Only I can calm the storm inside your mind. Only I can restore the joy and peace your spirit had been missing for so long. My beloved child, please hear me carefully now. I am not speaking to condemn you. I am speaking because I refuse to lose you to spiritual exhaustion. I refuse to watch your soul slowly grow cold while pretending everything is fine. The enemy wants your attention scattered because distracted souls stop listening carefully to my voice. Distracted hearts slowly lose sensitivity to my presence. And once spiritual numbness grows deep enough, people begin living disconnected from the very source of life itself. That is why I am calling for your attention now with urgency and love. I cannot stay silent while your spirit suffers quietly beneath the surface. Do you know how many times I protected you yesterday without you even noticing? I blocked dangers you never saw. I calmed fears before they consumed your mind completely. I carried you through emotional battles that could have broken you. There were moments when darkness tried to overwhelm your thoughts, but my hand covered you before the enemy could pull you deeper into despair. You may feel forgotten sometimes, but if only you could see the unseen ways I care for you every single day, your heart would break with understanding. Even while you ignored me, I remained faithful to you. Even while your attention drifted elsewhere, I continued protecting, guiding, and loving you quietly. My child, I miss you more than you realize. I miss the closeness we once had. I miss your trust. I miss your honesty. I miss the moments when you would sit with me openly instead of hiding behind distractions. I know life has hurt you, but do not let pain separate you from the one who loves you most deeply. Do not let disappointment convince you that intimacy with me is pointless. I am still here. I am still listening. I am still speaking. I am still reaching for your heart even now. Yesterday was painful because I was trying to draw you back before your exhaustion grows heavier. There are things ahead in your life that require spiritual strength, and that strength can only come through closeness with me. You cannot continue pouring your energy into everything except your own soul. Your heart is tired because it was never meant to carry life without resting deeply in my presence. You need me more than you admit to yourself sometimes. Not because you are weak, but because your soul was created for relationship with me. So now I ask you gently, but urgently, stop running from the quiet moments where I wait for you. Stop drowning your spirit beneath endless distractions. Stop pretending your heart is not hurting. Bring your exhaustion to me. Bring your confusion to me. Bring your numbness, your disappointment, your fear, and your hidden tears to me. I can handle every broken piece inside you. I am not afraid of your pain. I am not tired of your struggles. I am not frustrated with your weakness. I am your Father. I am your Savior. I am the one who has loved you from the very beginning. And even after yesterday, even after the silence, even after you kept walking past my voice, I am still here calling your name with love. Come back close to me now, my child. Do not wait any longer. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand deeply today, because your heart has carried this question silently for a very long time. You have asked me again and again where I was during your darkest moments. You have wondered why certain seasons felt so painfully silent. You have cried alone at night, wondering if I still saw you, if I still cared, if I still listened when your prayers barely had strength behind them anymore. But my child, I was there through every single moment. I never once stepped away from you. Even in the times when your faith felt weak and your heart felt numb, my presence never left your side. Yesterday, while you ignored my voice, part of the pain I felt came from knowing how much I have already carried you through while asking for nothing except your closeness in return. Comment Amen. The Spirit directs my steps if you sense His guidance daily. I remember the nights when your tears fell quietly because you did not want anyone around you to know how broken you really felt inside. I saw you trying to stay strong while secretly feeling exhausted beyond words. I watched you lie awake with thoughts racing through your mind, wondering how much more pressure your heart could survive. I heard the silent cries you never spoke out loud because you felt too emotionally drained to explain them anymore. And while you thought nobody understood your pain, I was sitting beside you, collecting every tear that fell from your eyes. Not one tear escaped my attention. Not one moment of your suffering was invisible to me. There were days when you smiled in front of people while feeling completely shattered inside. I saw how lonely you felt even while surrounded by others. I saw how often you carried emotional burden silently because you feared becoming a burden yourself. You learned how to hide your pain so well that eventually even the people closest to you stopped noticing the heaviness in your spirit. But I noticed. I always noticed. I saw every hidden disappointment. I saw every unanswered question. I saw every moment when fear quietly wrapped around your thoughts while you pretended everything was fine. My child, you have never suffered alone even for a single moment. Do you remember those seasons when you thought you would completely fall apart emotionally? Do you remember the moments when life became so overwhelming that even getting through another day felt impossible? You survived because my hand held you together when your strength disappeared. There were nights when despair tried to swallow your mind completely, but I surrounded your spirit with enough peace to keep you breathing through the pain. There were moments when anxiety pressed so heavily against your chest that you felt like you could not escape the fear inside your thoughts. Yet somehow you kept going because I was carrying you quietly even when you could not feel me. Yesterday, when you ignored me, I remembered all the ways I have already protected you through battles you never fully understood. I remembered the doors I closed because danger waited behind them. I remembered the people I removed because they would have destroyed your peace completely. I remembered the moments when the enemy tried to push you deeper into hopelessness. But my voice interrupted the darkness before it consumed you entirely. My child, if only you could see how many unseen battles I have already fought for you, your heart would finally understand that you have never been abandoned. There were situations that should have broken you permanently, yet you are still here. There were emotional wounds that could have destroyed your ability to love or trust again, yet your heart still carries hope somewhere deep inside. There were moments when your mind became so exhausted from stress, grief, disappointment, and pressure that you thought you would never feel peace again. Yet even through all of that, I stayed close. I whispered strength into your spirit when you had none left for yourself. I carried you through days you cannot even remember clearly because survival became your only focus. And still, after everything, I have never regretted loving you. My beloved child, one of the greatest lies the enemy tells you is that your pain means I abandoned you. But pain does not mean absence. Silence does not mean rejection. Delay does not mean lack of love. There were seasons where I stayed quiet because your spirit was being strengthened in ways you could not yet understand. There were moments where I allowed certain heartbreaks because I saw dangers ahead that you could not see from your limited perspective. I know some wounds still confuse you. I know there are prayers you still do not understand why I answered differently than you hoped. But even inside the confusion, my love never changed. Yesterday, when I watched you avoid my voice again, I was not angry because you were struggling. My heart broke because I saw how deeply wounded your soul has become from carrying pain without fully bringing it into my presence. You have become so used to surviving emotionally that sometimes you no longer realize how desperately your spirit needs healing. You keep trying to move forward while carrying old grief, hidden disappointments, and quiet fears inside your heart. You keep distracting yourself because slowing down forces you to feel everything you have tried to suppress for so long. But my child, unhealed pain does not disappear simply because you ignore it. The wounds inside your spirit still need my touch. I know there are moments when you wonder if you are too far away from me now. Sometimes guilt whispers to you that your distance has disappointed me too much. Sometimes shame tells you that after ignoring me so many times, you no longer deserve closeness with me again. But listen carefully to my voice now. Nothing could ever make me stop loving you. Nothing. Not your failures. Not your doubts. Not your distractions. Not your seasons of weakness. Not even yesterday when you walked past my voice again and again. My love for you has never depended on perfect behavior. I chose you knowing every weakness you would carry long before you were even born. Do you understand how precious you are to me? Even during your worst moments, I still look at you with tenderness and compassion. I do not stare at you with disappointment the way you sometimes imagine. I see the wounded places inside you. I see the exhaustion behind your silence. I see the battles you never speak about openly. And instead of pulling away from you, my love moves closer. I want to heal the places you hide. I want to comfort the fears you bury. I want to restore the joy and peace that life slowly stole from your spirit over time. Yesterday I waited for you because I knew how badly your soul needed intimacy with me again. You may think distractions help you cope, but distractions cannot heal what only my presence can restore. Temporary comfort cannot replace spiritual closeness with me. The world gives noise, but I give peace. The world offers escape, but I offer healing. The world teaches you how to numb yourself, but I want to bring your heart fully alive again. My beloved child, I remember every version of you. I remember the younger version of you who trusted me more easily. I remember the version of you who prayed with expectation and believed miracles were possible. I remember the nights when worship moved your spirit deeply. I remember the tenderness your heart once carried before disappointment hardened certain places inside you. And even now, beneath all the exhaustion and emotional walls, that same beautiful soul still exists. Your faith is not dead. Your heart is not beyond healing. Your spirit is simply tired and wounded from carrying too much pain without resting deeply in my love. Please stop believing you must carry everything alone. That is not strength. Real strength is learning to trust me with the broken parts of your heart too. Real strength is letting me comfort you instead of pretending you are unaffected by everything you have survived. I never asked you to become emotionally numb in order to endure life. I created you for closeness, peace, vulnerability, and trust with me. So now, come close again without fear. Bring me the hidden grief you still carry. Bring me the disappointment you buried. Bring me the exhaustion behind your smile. Bring me the loneliness you never explained to others. I am not overwhelmed by your pain. I am not tired of listening to your heart. I am still your safe place after everything you have been through. And yesterday, even while you ignored me, I remained beside you whispering softly, "Come back to me, my child. Let me hold the parts of you that have been hurting alone for far too long. My child, I need you to listen carefully now because the distance between us did not happen all at once. It happened slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. You did not wake up one morning deciding to drift away from me completely. No, it began with small moments, small distractions, small delays, small choices to ignore my voice because you were tired, overwhelmed, disappointed, or emotionally exhausted. And over time, those little moments slowly built walls inside your heart. Yesterday was painful for me because I could see how far your spirit has drifted from the closeness we once shared, and yet part of you still does not realize how deeply your soul misses me. You still say you love me, and I know you do. But love cannot survive deeply without attention, intimacy, and time together. You have become so busy carrying life, surviving pressure, and protecting your emotions that you no longer sit with me the way you once did. You no longer pause long enough to truly hear my voice clearly. Your prayers have become rushed because your mind feels crowded all the time. Your worship feels distant because your heart has become weighed down by disappointment. You open your day with noise instead of my presence, and then you wonder why peace feels harder to hold on to lately. My beloved child, your soul is tired because it was never created to live disconnected from me. The enemy did not attack your life suddenly. He understands something important about the human heart. He knows people rarely fall away from intimacy with me through one dramatic decision. Most drift slowly through distraction, through exhaustion, through emotional numbness, through endless noise, through small compromises that seem harmless at first. Yesterday, when you ignored my voice again, it was not simply one moment to me. It revealed how long your spirit has been surviving without true rest in my presence. And because I love you deeply, I cannot stay silent while your soul slowly grows weaker beneath the surface. Do you remember when spending time with me felt natural? Do you remember when prayer was not something you forced yourself to do? There was a time when your heart longed for my presence sincerely. You would sit quietly with me because your spirit found comfort there. You trusted me more easily then. You expected me to move in your life. But over time, pain chained your relationship with hope. Delayed answers discouraged you. Betrayals exhausted you emotionally. Certain heartbreaks left wounds you never fully healed from. And instead of bringing those broken places honestly into my presence, you slowly started building emotional distance around your heart. You began distracting yourself because distraction feels easier than vulnerability sometimes. You filled your mind with constant noise because silence forces you to feel the ache inside your spirit. You learned how to survive emotionally by staying busy, staying entertained, staying occupied, staying mentally overwhelmed. But my child, constant distraction is not peace. Numbing your soul is not healing. Avoiding intimacy with me does not protect your heart the way you think it does. It only leaves your spirit weaker, lonelier, and more exhausted over time. Yesterday I watched you choose temporary comfort over closeness with me again. I saw the moments when conviction touched your spirit briefly, but you quickly pushed the feeling aside. I saw the moments when you always prayed sincerely, but exhaustion pulled your attention elsewhere. I saw you trying to silence the emptiness inside yourself with distractions instead of letting me fill those broken places with my peace. And my heart grieved because I know what your soul truly needs. You need me more than all the temporary things you keep using to avoid your spiritual hunger. My beloved child, spiritual numbness is dangerous because it grows quietly. At first, people still believe they are close to me because they still think about me sometimes. They still say they love me. They still occasionally pray. But slowly, their hearts stop listening carefully. Their spirits stop responding quickly when I speak. Conviction becomes easier to ignore. Prayer becomes less honest. Worship becomes routine instead of intimate. And eventually, many begin living emotionally and spiritually disconnected without fully realizing how far the distance has grown. That is why yesterday hurt me so deeply. I was calling you gently, but your heart has become so overwhelmed by life that my voice struggled to break through all the noise surrounding your spirit. Yet even now, I am not angry with you. I understand your exhaustion. I understand your disappointment. I understand the hidden fears inside your heart. But understanding your pain does not mean I will remain silent while your soul drifts further into spiritual weakness. I love you too much for that. You know why the enemy fights so hard for your attention. Because attention shapes intimacy. Whatever constantly holds your focus slowly shapes your heart. And lately, your attention has been scattered everywhere except the place where your spirit finds true life. Your mind feels overwhelmed because you consume endless noise, but rarely allow your soul to rest deeply in my presence. You feel emotionally drained because you pour energy into surviving external pressure while neglecting your spiritual strength internally. My child, your spirit cannot remain healthy while constantly starving for intimacy with me. Yesterday, heaven watched while I kept reaching for your attention. Angels stood near while your spirit wrestled silently between distraction and conviction. And even though you continued walking past my whispers, I still refused to leave your side. That is how deeply I love you. Human love often walks away after repeated rejection, but my love continues pursuing you even through your distance. Still, my child, do not mistake my patience for permission to remain spiritually disconnected forever. Your soul cannot continue surviving this way without eventually becoming deeply exhausted. You have become so used to carrying emotional heaviness that you barely notice how tired your spirit truly feels anymore. The anxiety inside your thoughts has become normal to you. The emotional numbness feels familiar now. The constant mental noise no longer surprises you. But this is not the abundant life I created you for. I created you for peace. I created you for intimacy. I created you for closeness with me that refreshes your soul even during difficult seasons. Yet you keep trying to survive spiritual exhaustion instead of returning fully into my presence where healing begins. My child, I miss your attention. I miss your trust. I miss the moments when you would come to me honestly instead of hiding behind distractions. I miss hearing your heart openly without all the emotional walls you have built around yourself over time. You may not realize it, but your soul misses me deeply too. That emptiness you feel sometimes even after distracting yourself for hours, that is your spirit longing for the closeness only my presence can give. And still, after all the moments you overlooked my voice, I continue calling gently because my love for you has never weakened. Yesterday was painful, but I am still here today reaching for your heart again. I do not want religion from you. I do not want forced routines without intimacy. I want relationship. I want closeness. I want the real you, the tired you, the wounded you, the emotionally overwhelmed you to come sit with me honestly again. Type Amen. Salvation is mine through Jesus if you're grateful for his sacrifice. And share this video.